let's get it going. Maybe Charles, why don't you tell the team? Like, I mean, I can talk about Canopy Connect all day. I have a little demo that I can show for everyone.
Oh
but
yeah, I mean
Charles, tell them
the
what they need to
easiest
know.
way to describe Canopy is it takes all the ifs out of the sales process, right? There are so many times where we expect all of our clients to be native insurance ease speakers, right? Like, hey, what's your deductible? What's this? What's that? Replacement cost versus ACV. And my conversation is always, why are you talking to me in alphabet soup and why does it matter, right? As far as for the clients is concerned. So the way that Canopy allows you to, I would say, triage what it is that your clients are going through from a sales perspective is unmatched in the industry. Okay, you're able to, however you want to get this information. I have a couple different ways that I do it, but in short, send a link. Someone can click the link, use their username and password that they have for whatever company, even some regional companies that they have available, and have their deck page home auto automatically sent and emailed over to you. Now, simple product, simple conversation, but in and of itself, it works great. It gives you all the information you need, from the deck pages to the names, email addresses, phone numbers of all those in the households. It's been amazing, especially with State Farm, because I find out that a client has 3 life policies they never knew that they had, right? They find out that they have 2 umbrella policies on either their mother's policy and then their policy, and they had no idea that they were paying for it the whole time. So there's so much to be said about the context into which you're quoting, right? Just saying, oh, well, hey, I gave you better coverage for a better price. Okay, I have to take your word on that. By being able to grab it and kind of putting those side by side, because obviously I look like a very svelte individual, right? I have a 6-pack, obviously, in my dreams. It's like being able to have the before and after picture, right? It's like, hey, this is all of what you were paying for before with your prior company. And here's what we're able to do now as an independent brokerage, as someone that was listening and talking to you. So I can spend more of my time building the trust instead of taking the orders. Like, let's face it. I mean, I don't think many of us here get paid as much as we get paid or have the opportunities that we have because we're good order takers, like we're good agents. But that's such a major piece of the conversation that a lot of people don't realize. Like, no one wants to have the conversation of, well, what's your deductible? Well, what's this? Because no one knows what that means. So you're able to spend most of your time now having the conversation of how it matters to them, right? It's more of, the doctor doesn't talk to you about why, hey, you have a headache, why this, why that, what's the process that got you there. The doctor talks to you about, hey, this is where you said you wanted to be, and here's how you get there. And that's the biggest value add. And that's the way that Canopy has changed my life, is being able to focus all of my sales conversation time, not on getting all of the details, but on being able to connect with each person, which is, to Sam's point of view, why we're able to have 158 Google reviews in 16 months. And that's not bad, especially whenever you're having to have people write, paragraphs about it or not. If y'all want to take a chance and look at it, mine's McDade Insurance Brokerage Group over here in Texas. Literally, you can go through and read the reviews, but it allows me to spend that extra time that allows me to add that extra bit of value. Is there any thoughts or conversations on that? Maybe any?
That's awesome. Charles, I had you open in Google because I usually show folks like, hey, this guy is pretty legit. So as you can see here, we have McDade Brokerage 5.0. Even no, you're not taking any 4-star reviews. I feel like, Charles,
Yeah,
you're just doing
not
6
many
stars.
outside of Cortland.
So and then I always show people this too. Is a little hack from Charles that he has his Canopy link up here in his Google My Business too. So we can cover that later. But yeah, that's awesome. Any questions, guys? Put them in chat. Sam, how are we doing so far? Does it all look good?
No, yeah, it looks great. By the way, it's one person had asked, it's recorded, correct? We're recording this.
Yes, it
right,
is.
so
Yeah, we're recording it. Yeah.
We'll make that available for anyone who has questions or anything like that or wants to review it later. But I think the main thing you're covering, the piece that I take out of it, the best part, Charles, is that you're able to shift the focus of your conversation away from, hey, let me go ahead and grab this information, that information from you so I can complete that quote. Let me go ahead and tell you how to collect your deck pages. You're able to focus more on, here's the coverages, here's the policy, you're able to present, and there's less forced time with you trying to just, like you said, be the order taker. The guy saying, well, how's that spelled? What's your deductible on that? And you're able to just have that information right there through the Canopy Connect platform there that allows you to just pull those decks in.
All right.
Basically, it's like, have you ever been at tried to order over the phone at like a non-American store, whether it's Thai, Chinese, Italian, right? And you're forced to try to verbalize the actual order of what's going on. Well, no, like, well, what I want is, and then it's not within your scope of what you know, right? So you're like, just third down on your menu, right? Like, because at that point in time, you're like, no, maybe I'm mispronouncing carbonara, maybe I'm mispronouncing pho, maybe it's just that scary part of feeling like you're not intelligent enough is what our clients go through, and being able to have an option for them. Because of course, if you have a client that loves to have that conversation, have it with them. That's a value add. But if you have customers that are trying to get questions and conversations answered, this allows you to expedite the process and get into what matters to them fast and effectively. Because think about it, if it takes, let's say if 1 out of every 3 people that you quote every day ends up being someone that would be something that would be open for Canopy. Well, it takes about what? Hey, put in the chat about how long it takes y'all to gather enough information to end up getting a quote. For each person is different. Obviously, I'm long-winded, so it might take me 20 to 30 minutes. But hey, throw in the chat real quick how long
to go through Easy Links. I'd say, like,
yeah, to go through Easy Links to get the quote,
to get all that information quoted up, and just get to Easy Links as quote screen. Like, how long does that typically take most of you? Put it in the chat. I think that'd be really helpful information.
Because it draws a great parallel as soon as everyone's able to push it through. But for me, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes, especially if I'm trying to have a conversation with the person and trying to get some better information. So look, 5-10 minutes to gather the information. And this is even before they even make it to Easy Links. 5 to 10 minutes if I have the right info, 20 minutes. Okay, so cool. So let's look at it like this, right? If you have 1 out of every 3 that are a possible person that would end up using Canopy or being able to get the information right, a lot of the conversation is it takes like 8 to 10 touches for someone to actually end up doing business with you, just because of confusion, trying to figure some things out. Well, because you already have their info, you're able to simply do the comparison video of, hey, this is exactly what you have, and this is what now that you're getting, along with these coverages that you said that mattered. That has sped up my process to where I can literally start the quote, finish the quote in 15 minutes, and then have them bind within 15 minutes. Because I have everything I need. I do a couple of double checking, which means that as an agency owner, that, let's face it, we get paid per sale, which means we sell more per hour, we make more per hour. Being able to get my deck page back from Canopy, finish it up, finish the quote, 15 minutes, means that the amount of money I make per hour skyrockets. So that not only myself, not only my customers, not only my other agents that are here in my office are able to make more money with that, but they're able to deliver a better service underneath a more consistent time frame.
Boom. There we go. All right, I'm already getting some questions about how this all works. So let me actually use that and get into a quick demo of like what this all looks like, so you guys have an idea of what we do, and then just again, put some questions in the chat, and we'll cover those. So
yeah, and I'll man most of the chat if I can, and if I don't have an answer to it, I'll let you know, Robert.
All right, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks, Sam. All right, here we go. So let me just share my my screen here. All right, can everybody see my screen here? All right, I see Sam. I see Sam nodding there. All right. So in the simplest form, what we'll give you is a link to send out to your prospects, right? So like everybody's wondering, like, what is this link that Charles is talking about? We host a link for you. You can customize it with your logo, with your company name. So I had it already open here, Charles. So like this is Charles on his website. He has his logo here. McDade Insurance uses Quick Connect, he's calling it, to collect your info. So this is Canopy Connect, right? Like this is the link that you guys can send. To make it even easier, this is on Charles's website, but he was just talking about somebody that, you know, Scratch agent that started, that didn't have a website for the first year and a half, right? Like, of course, Scratch agents do. We give you a link out of the box. We host it for you, so you can just directly send this out. So the moment you sign up with us, you'll get a link like this, customize it for your agency. And the only thing you need to do really is start sending it out to prospects. So we'll allow you to do that through our dashboard. You can text people directly. You can send this link over email. You can send it, you know, anywhere you want. Charles, what's your best method so far in terms of like getting the link to people?
The way I always talk about it is, and you can click on the import my insurance so they can just see how it ends up looking.
Yeah.
So yes, it can. I mean, as it can be, the link can be text as long as it's not 1963 and they don't have like a random flip phone that has no internet connection.
Yes.
Like just like everything else that's online on the internet, of course, if you send over the link, the conversation, you can text that out to people as if they've had questions. My favorite was I had a client of mine that was just, because we're brokers and because sometimes our rates are that much better than some of the competition, just because they haven't shopped in 15, 20 years, the mental thought of I get what I pay for is just so skewed, right? It's like, well, no, I mean, I can charge you $1 million for one taco. That doesn't mean that the taco was worth it. Like, come on now. So being able to send this out and them to be able to, and then of course, click continue. That way they're able to actually sign in to State Farm, Geico, Allstate, Liberty Mutual, Safeco. I mean, basically anyone that you end up, I don't know, like the, type in FedNat, for example.
There we go.
Of course,
we have like in Texas, we have like Pronto, like there we go.
You guys have like 156 carriers or something like that when I last talked about it with you, right, Robert?
Yes. And by the way, I just noticed that I was texting to the waiting room people, so all my chats have not been probably received by you guys. So sorry about that. Anyways, yes, we have 100, over 160 right now. Yeah.
And I recently asked our agents and polled them, like, who are the top carriers that you're competing against? We got a list. And I can share that with the agents, anyone who's interested. We got a list. Every one of the carriers on that list is one that you guys have the ability to grab deck pages from. So all the carriers that agents said that they're competing against regularly are on here.
Nice. Awesome. All right. And then I'll walk them through it. So like from here, so the only thing they need is basically their online login, right? So we see the overwhelming majority, over 99% of people select yes here. But even if they don't have an account, they click here, directly takes them to the State Farm website, and they can create that account. Typically takes a minute or two, and they have that. They're always going to have to do that probably anyway to get maybe their deck pages themselves. But basically by using us, we'll get you all, like kind of what Charles was saying, like you get all the deck pages across all their lines, right? So the only thing they need to do next, put in the username and password, and then we'll go to work and make sure that we get you guys that data. So that's as simple as it gets. Charles, anything I'm missing here?
Oh yeah, like just so what I love is that right here where it says add drivers and finish, if you have someone that's basically adding a driver because they're, I don't know, a 16-year-old just getting their license, or they're adding someone else, they can easily add this part. But if they click skip, or Canopy can actually remove it if you want to, great. Or maybe they're getting married and they want to add someone else to the conversation, they can here, which just makes it a lot easier in the case that it's, for me, located in multiple different places. Now, there's no right way to do anything in insurance. Otherwise, let's face it, we're all contrarian. We would never listen to any way that anyone else does it. We always try to find our own way as agents. So I look at this as just buckets, right? Your goal is to have different buckets for clients to work in, right? You may have a client that loves to talk to you. You may have a client that loves to text. You may have a client that loves to walk through details, but you need to have a space either on your website or available to touch bases with all those different people. Otherwise, you're only going to ever sell the people that are specifically excited about doing business the only one way that you offer, right? So having this on your website allows you to, number one, have an option for those that want to keep it simple and just, hey, show me what you can do with what I got. Or for those clients that are a little more wary, that might take 2 to 3 months to switch because they're just not sure yet, right? And if you're paying someone to call and follow up for 2-3 months because they just don't trust you yet until they've talked to you for the 70th time about your cat, well, then let's expedite that process a little bit by being able to use something and be able to compare it side by side. So there is no argument. There is no question of what I'm doing. It's black and white, and we can compare it right next to each other. In fact, I actually send out an email with their deck pages to them. So that way they can know flat out, hey, this is what you have. So I'll be sending over my new quote and this policy, so you can see that they're going to either be mirror images or mine's going to be of better quality and what matters to you. So the ways that I use it, okay, number one, I put it on Google, okay, because it gives people an option instead of trying to type name, number, VIN number, driver's license number, and by the time that they saw that they had to put their birth date in, they back out. This gives them another option, right? The biggest sale I've gotten from this so far was I think it was $12,000 home, auto, and umbrella policy that was submitted Sunday night, and I closed Monday morning at 9:10.
Boom.
Like I mean, there's nothing that feels better than that, right? As far as for not only writing a policy, but also doing it in a way that was beneficial to them, and immediately being able to get that 5-star review. Everything lines itself out because they felt like they were listened and heard the entire process versus me asking what kind of ranch or what color pen they wanted. The next piece of it is, does it integrate automatically with any CRMs? How does the info come to you once the client has initiated it? Well, there's a lot of conversations of what is a CRM. That's the first thing. I have no idea if a CRM is a sheet of paper that's by your desk or if it's a another otherwise process. It always depends on what information you're trying to get and what a CRM actually ends up meaning to you. To be more specific though, here's how it comes through the app specifically, and you get an email with the deck pages immediately, just breaking everything down.
Yeah, so exactly. So basically, the moment they, just to go back to the flow, the only thing we really need people to do is to get the correct username and password into Canopy, right? And then we can take care of the rest. Like if you can see here, we don't even ask like first name, last name, phone number, because all of that information is in the account anyway, right? So like and again, to Charles's point, like making sure that you operate on people's terms, right? Like maybe people want to like in the weekend just quickly fill this out and not spend time during the workday like being on the phone with you. Maybe they want to do it after hours. It's just whenever they feel like it. And then once they log in, it takes literally a minute. Like right now we're doing a lot of work on optimizing the integrations, like for like the top 20 carriers right now. So like the Geico's, Progressive, you get the data literally within seconds. We're doing some work on the smaller ones like the farm bureaus. Can take sometimes a couple of minutes, but you'll get the data super fast. And this is how it looks like. So you'll get like the contact info, address info, all the dwellings, you get all the policies. So another benefit, like what Charles was mentioning, like if there was State Farm, they have free life policies that it didn't even know existed. They're going to show up here, right? So everything from home to auto to renters, condo, any of their toys, everything is going to be here. And you'll see
something very specific real quick here, because I want to stop it right here because I know our agents are going to have fun. What would you do if you were $535, right? No, scroll back up to the
yeah. Okay, there we go.
For $535, okay? And someone told you, hey, we're not even close, and you quoted them 100, 300, 100. Uninsured motorist, property damage, all of it, right? Could you imagine how many people, like I've had to have the realization of how many people I actually would have lost, not realizing that, oh, they only had 15,000 and then per accident 30, and then they have no uninsured motorist property damage, right? Like it changes the absolute game, because I was like, oh, no. It's not that we're more expensive. I quoted you the better coverage for an extra 30 cents a month. So, I mean, we can change that if you sign a sheet of paper saying that you're okay, basically taking responsibility or not. And you'd be surprised how many clients just like this that you quote, or people that you quote, that you don't realize you missed out on, not because your price wasn't competitive, but because you didn't have the relationship and the context behind it all. Like, have you ever seen that before, Sam? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
No, 100%. I see all the time where I'm competing against the client who they've got, it seems like, right? They think they've got this great policy and they seem to be indicating me, and I'm seeing those gaps. Right there's a great one. I mean, right on screen, 1530. That is an easy upsell opportunity right there. I mean, my price can be can be the same. I can make them pay more and get them to buy, the higher limits on that, because that's the coverage that's protecting them. So you're going to lose out. This allows you the opportunity to not lose out in those circumstances where you couldn't easily collect the deck pages, or the client wasn't able to get them from the previous agent or from their app and get it to you. It's an easy way to get that information and have that competitive edge before you even had your first conversation with the client about coverage.
Yeah, we actually hear that a lot also, for like, even if they're with another agent, like they don't have to go back to the agent and ask for the deck pages, right? That we can just get it for them. You'll know the broker of record as well from the decks. So just to show, like, so this data, also to Charles's point earlier in the question, like we're already, like Charles can maybe talk later a bit about how he's directly getting this data into Easy Links as well. But yeah, we actually also get you guys the actual deck pages. So I mean, if you're, you get like all the recent deck pages. Somebody was asking about loss information. So we also get claims history, like any claims that they have with the carrier, auto ID cards. We always get you the recent deck pages. If there are some renewal decks, if they've been with the carrier. Like I had somebody that had like history going back to like 2009, I think. But so if we can get it, we'll try to get it. But always the most recent deck pages, and all the claims history. So yeah, just wanted to make sure to highlight that. But yeah, anything I'm missing there, Charles?
No, I would say like this is a good time for questions, just to kind of go through it. We talked about how it got used. We answered some of those. We showed it off here for a second. Man, y'all just throw it into the chat real quick. Or once you put them in, does it update their at the renewal? No, it does not. And no, it does not with Social Security numbers as well, because they will. It's like for us right now. If we had a system that someone would sign into that would show off their Social Security numbers in big, bright blue or red or yellow letters, that's a key way of being able to get sued quickly. Just because now, once you have it pulled, it's your data, you're responsible for that. So if you're over here slapping in that particular pieces of info, no, you'd probably want to make sure that you're asking clients before using their social. Now, as far as for once they put their information in, does it update? Scott, I asked this question because I was very interested in it. No, it does not. But here's the plus side. If you're using any type of automation or maybe sales center with Easy Links, or however it is that y'all are kind of maneuvering, you have their deck page for right now, and when their expiration date comes up, so you can hit them 45 days prior to, and just say, hey, we checked out the policy prior. We know that you were at this much money. Please let me know how the renewal stacks up. Did it stay the same? I'm noticing that there's a lot of companies going up. What's happening for you specifically, right? And the answer is everything always goes up and nothing was like it was. So you're able to be in a spot where you kind of know the way that question is going to be answered up front.
Yeah, and with the way, I would just add too, like as we all know, the market is hardening right now. We are going to be running into situations where you're going to be competing on coverage far more than you are going to be competing on price. And this is a great way to do that, right? To have the it's like having like that back end information, like that secret information. You have it if you're using Canopy, and you're able to collect that information and allow you to be better prepared to sell on value rather than just price. You know what I mean? Being an order taker.
Yeah. My favorite, especially down here in Texas, is, hey, we're just going to tweak your policy a little bit, get things down. Okay. Fast forward, the tweak is the person gave them a 7% hurricane deductible on a $500,000, $800,000 house. And you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars, right? Of that money that ends up getting lined out. I mean, you're really breaking down what, $65,000 to $70,000. And it's like, just say you're not covering my roof, please.
And you're in spring, right?
Just tell me the roof is excluded. I'd feel better.
And you're in spring, right? Right outside of Houston.
Yeah,
so
I'm right in spring. I'm right here in Houston. It's not a question of if we're going to get hit with a hurricane. It's a question of when, right? And especially in a hardening market, let's face it, everybody is unhappy about their insurance company when claims happen, not realizing that there was so much that led up to that, like being able to break down what their coverages are, where the money goes, what you're paying for and what you're not paying for, and being able to have that conversation, which helps you, number one, in writing E&O policy, like E&O issues with, oh, well, this is what I had before. I know we've all heard that, right? Like from one agent to another. Oh, well, I had that coverage at XYZ. No, you didn't. You actually, your policy was a fire policy before, is what it was. And now you're talking to me about this HOB that was written, but that I won't cover the mold damage from 5 years ago. Like, come on now. Like none of this stuff makes any sense. And it's great being able to show people that, and it helps insulate me from those weird misunderstanding low star reviews.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. And we got a question also about like how to view the data. So we'll send you an email the moment that the data is ready, and then you'll be able to see it in the dashboard. That's what I was just showing. But also like with Zapier, I know that Charles is sending that directly into his easy links as well.
Yeah, so anyone who's interested in that, like that, if you do choose to go that route, you feel free to reach out to me. EasyLinks does require that you enable Sales Center for the Zapier integration, so there is an additional cost to that for agents. So Firefly agents, if anyone who has a question about that, feel free to reach out to me. I can go over those costs, what that would look like, and what other tools that might enable for you as well down the road. And anyone who's interested, by the way, in like X dates and stuff like that, or needs help with that, and EasyLinks, if you're new with Firefly, feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to show you that too.
Yeah. And so y'all use EasyLinks, and then I see that other people are saying CRM. Are they talking about EasyLinks as their CRM?
I assume most people are using EasyLinks as their CRM. I think we have like a few people that are using Zoom. I know we've got at least one or two using Agency MVP. We've got another couple agents. I think one or two maybe using Better Agency. So we have a few that are using just different. Yeah.
So the easiest way to say it is if it talks to Zapier or Zapier, however you want to call it, since I'm a Southern boy. If Zapier, if it talks to Zapier, then it'll communicate, right? Yeah. And if y'all don't know what Zapier is, it's just a communication tool that allows one product and service to talk to another. But outside of that, there's a bunch of other things that can kind of easily be done. I mean, if you're a huge virtual assistant person, hell, you can have this sent over to a virtual assistant and have them quote the data that's on the sheet. And you know that there's not a lot of ambiguity on what's being done. not something that I do. I'm not a VA person, but just saying that, since there is a breadth of different styles of business out there, there's a lot of ways that things can be done. But I mean, the more questions we have, the better. Let's see here. Does it pull up the renewal? Again, Scott, to you, no, it does not. And the reason why it does not pull up the renewal is because they're giving you this one-time authorization into their account. It's not something where they're just going to keep running it over and over and over again, but it allows you to have the conversation and the communication to be able to speak more intelligently to those customers. So that way you can earn that quote and also have detailed information of what it was prior, which makes things a lot easier. If that answers your question, Scott, I'm hoping it does.
Yeah, with the renewal, we get like prior renewals, and if there's already a renewal for like a new term, we'd also get it. But yeah, for like the repooling the data, that's you'll just have to send out the link again. But it works really well, of course, with like Charles was saying, X-Date campaign, or even like cross-selling any of your monoline clients, and just having them upload other policies.
And I wanted to wait until we got into the tail end of the call because I enjoy watching people. I like watching the number drop a little bit, so that way I can give good info to the people that are still here or that make it this far in the recording. I use this consistently for you look, auto dealerships.
Yeah,
they need to have ID cards, right? So you're able to make a specific link for a auto dealership or a refining mortgage company. So that they can get all that information as quickly as possible.
Scroll down. I see one of my buddies on that list.
Which one?
Right there, Matic. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Very cool. So that's a Columbus one, obviously. So I recognize the name, obviously.
Nice. No, so I'm gonna pull up. I have another couple examples. Let me actually find another one. But yeah, we can set up links for each of your referral partners, basically. Yeah.
So Charles, I didn't mean to interrupt. You said car dealerships. What are some of those other referral partners that you like to?
You're talking about refi mortgage brokers, right?
Yeah.
Good situation. Yeah. I'll tell you flat out, it's helpful for you to be able to get some things lined out. For real estate agents,
loan officers,
it's helpful.
Yeah. So one thing here, and you can set this up for any of your referral partners, right? So you create a link, you have their logo there, their branding, so they can make it it can look like exactly like it's coming from them. So especially going through buying a house or a refi, they're already sending so much info. So this is just a small step. Hey, upload your insurance info. Charles will reach out, get you a quote. Even for a new home.
Point blank, my sale here is loan officers don't care when it comes to refis if it's the insurance that saves them or if it's the rate, right? They are kings and queens of, oh, well, it's not my rate or my fees. It's just your insurance is a bit higher than we expected, right?
Yeah.
So by being able to help them lower the rate as things are being done on their end, it just helps them kind of, better close their business and look better towards their clients. Because if they were paying, a $4,000 this policy or a $1,000 or $800 this policy, you're able to drop that in half for one reason or another. Hell, you're in a good situation really, really quick to help them close a deal. And then also for them to have the correct information so that they can get it pushed through underwriting, because it saves them time and money, which means it saves you time and money. And then everyone's able to, put themselves in a positive conversation. Now, the other part for auto dealerships is, let's say if you wanted to, someone's trying to get their ID card, and let's face it, there's a ton of people that don't end up having it. Well, if you go back to that customer import that we did for Canopy here a second ago with the line out, the ID card is quite literally in that same line out. So you can prove prior insurance, right? If they're at a new car dealership, need to make sure they have the ID cards, old one, etc. And it's oh, hey, by the way, we'll get your ID cards for you. It'll automatically get sent to us. And we have a brokerage that we partner with to make sure that your rates are competitive. They won't call, they'll just get the quote done, send it over. So that way, when you're looking at the cost of everything, hey, you can decide what works for you and what doesn't. And again, especially for car dealerships, they don't care if they save you a ton of money on your auto and the insurance that goes along with it, or if that's all a part of the auto sale. Either way it goes, it makes things easier for them, and they're able to put themselves in a better situation faster. So be helpful to those around you, and be surprised how much others really end up using you. Like giveaways in general, okay? Again, like
this is a hot tip. Y'all should just be listening to this. This is great stuff here.
So the biggest part is something that I've transitioned over to is a lot of people just say yes, they'll get a quote for extra entries, which is fine. It's just I found that by putting in my Canopy link into the giveaways, it's helped me massively trying to convert that information. Because someone says yes to a quote, great. All right, you give them extra entries, you never hear from them again, right? It's basically like, I guess if I buy Rob a drink later, like he's probably gonna leave me pretty quick. He's gone to his wife, right? So when it comes to me, I've added that as a part of my process. So whenever I'm doing these giveaways, one thing, another, that kind of conversation, I add that as, hey, anyone that ends up signing in, sending over their deck page, that is what gives you an extra 5, 10, 12, 20, 50, make up a number, entries, and of course do it, right? Because at the end of the day, those deck page pulls are so valuable from a data perspective, right? You have their expiration date, you have the other people in the household, you have other email addresses that they have them, phone numbers, like you have everything you need for you to be able to follow up with them, as well as a baseline of what they were using, what they were covered for before. So lack of a better way to say it, that's the reason why every single one of my PS5 like giveaways, I break even within the first 48 hours. Like break even. Anything after that is just profit. Like 48 hours is all that's required. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of other things that I could be giving away, but I just try to find hard to locate items, and I put that up as a giveaway to drive interest, which is massive whenever I can use that interest to now garner great pieces of data from Canopy so I can follow up with them, touch bases, have accurate quotes done. So there's none of this, oh, well, I just wanted a PS5 and because I didn't win, I don't want to talk about it. It's like, no, we're actively saving you like $1,000 and you get an extra 50 entries. I mean, either way it goes, you can either buy 2 of these things or you get the money back from how much you saved, and then you get the PS5 if you win. So, I mean, I guess it sucks to be you today.
No, but that's cool. Like I was just talking with Charles before the call started. Like I was.
So that's how I use it for the text messages. Super helpful. Massively expedites the process, and it makes it to where people aren't off put by trying to put in a bunch of information on the front end, which helps me get more people to sign up because I only ask for a couple of pieces of info.
And you do that on like what, Facebook, TikTok?
Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, my OnlyFans page, anywhere I can put it. Sorry, apologize.
That was good.
No. So I put the link any and everywhere, and that's because by them clicking on the link, having the link there, the more traffic it drives, the more my SEO gets benefited. So that's something that is so helpful in trying to expand your business while everything is so digital nowadays. Like, even though I love Gary Vee, I'm a very Flintstones person. I love talking to people, but I do things and my back office is ran like the Jetsons, right? So it's like I like to have that personal communication, but I want everything to be pretty automated and very, very, very seamless on this other end. And being able to juggle those two means I have better customer experiences. But I mean, since we're moving, man, I haven't had anyone come off a mute or ask questions. And man, like let's let it ride for some people.
Exactly. And we even got a new joiner just a few minutes. They're still here for the good part of the question. So Darren, welcome. All right. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, feel free if you have any questions, feel free to jump off mute and ask them. But appreciate everyone making some time. I know we went over, but I appreciate it, Charles, because you're just dropping some knowledge bombs. And like I said, I've been following you for a while, so it's really great to get to hear from you and from other agents to hear from you as well.
Happy to do it, man. Happy to do it. Or if you want to figure out how to get PS5s, I can let y'all know that. But I mean, you know, there's a couple of different options here.
Personally,
Nice.
maybe personally, I've been searching for a little while.
All right.
So
Well,
any other questions? Anything else? Want to make sure we gave some opportunities here. How do we get a PS5? Go to Twitter, follow PS5 Restocks on Twitter, and be someone that doesn't sleep because of their ADHD problem.
So me and Charles.
That's my
only
there
we go. Yeah, I can join that one. All right. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, we just got the first sign up already. So William, welcome to Canopy, and yeah, excited to get some of you guys started. Again, doesn't end with this call. This is just the beginning. So make sure if you sign up, book an onboarding call, and we'll talk a bit more about how we can leverage for your agency. And yeah, really appreciate the time you gave for us, Sam, and all the wisdom from Charles. Yeah, you're hired, Charles. Let's go.
Real quick, I don't think I believe I saw a price on there. It wouldn't be up to me. It'd be up to my agency. And I know I'm all for it. This sounds fantastic. I just know
Awesome.
my agency, they're going to ask, well, how much is it? And so I wasn't sure.
What's your average premium? What's your average premium per policy?
I'd guess like 1,200.
1,200. So I guess y'all, the office probably makes, give or take, somewhere around 10% of that, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Probably
Right.
something like that.
Okay, so you sell one policy with it every month, and you've made more than break even.
There we go. Yeah, I just don't know what to tell them.
So you could go on. So on the website, it's on their website. They have a page for pricing. It's about $100 a month, about $1,000 a year, and there's a discount of 10%. And you do have like $50 off your first 2 months as a Firefly agent. So if you have any questions, feel free to just reach out to me one-on-one. I am more than happy to connect with you and answer any of those for you and the team.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very, very, very inexpensive. I've used a lot of other software that costs a lot more money to try to get things done, and they don't have as much bandwidth to be able to do some of the CRM integrations or some of the more fun tweaks that you're able to do for like other links, other clients, other referral partners. And the fact that Canopy allows you to do that is just a major win, because it wouldn't just be for you, your office, it would be you, your office, and anyone that is in that mortgage broker, auto dealership realm that finds value out of it. Don't just look at it as like a multi-tool for you. Get it out there, like use it in different ways, offer it. I don't know, call a roofer.
Hey, I'm going to go crazy with this as soon as we get it. Trust me, I have a ton of COIs to send this to.
All right, 3,000. He already committed.
There you go. There's the 3,000 right there.
There
No, and seriously, you have up to 50 landing pages, if I'm not mistaken, Robert. So there is a lot of opportunity to use this to direct different traffic. I mean, I could even foresee, just literally having it a post pinned on my personal Facebook page. You know what I mean? With the link for all my friends and people who already trust me and are landing on my Facebook page, just pinned to the top there at all times. And then when I do all my marketing in Facebook groups, anyone who lands on there from all the stuff that I do in Facebook groups gets, sees that as the first thing they see on my page. So there's tons of ways you can use this. I think it's a great tool. Yeah, awesome. No, exactly. Like, and we can also go through that during onboarding, like what you guys can do, like specifically for the agency. So we also help you get it on the website and embed it in any other online flow. So yeah, we'll take care of you. So hello@usecanopy.com. Just shoot us a note, or just go to usecanopy.com. You can sign up for the trial all by yourself and go at it.
Kenneth, let's say in the future, maybe.
Yes, yes. Actually, fresh with the press. Yeah, we're starting with commercial, at least building some of the initial integrations now. So,
And by the way, y'all
coming soon.
I've been yelling about that for a solid year. Okay. So Kenneth, congratulations, my man. You get to take pleasure in the pain and frustration and yelling that I have to do. So
We heard it. We heard this from like day one basically. So yes, we want to make sure that the personalized product really works well. So that was the focus last year. And now we're getting into commercial. So stay tuned on that.
Future time. They got to make sure it works and everything else gets lined out. But I'm really excited for if and when that all ends up lining out. But the thing that I love about Canopy is they never roll it out without it being something that they've tied and tested and maneuvered through. But anyway, that now we've gotten off track too far. All right, y'all have a great one, man. I appreciate being on the call. I'm sorry for saving all the good stuff for later, but you know I have fun with it. So I just appreciate you, Sam. Thank you a ton. Appreciate Firefly. Thank y'all for having me out. Tyler, as always, man, pleasure talking, messing with you, my man. And y'all have any questions or need anything, I'm sure Sam can help out. And shoot, I'll be sending Sam a quick message a little bit later. But hey, appreciate y'all. Y'all sign up. I'm telling you, it's going to be massive, especially during this home invasion sale of trying to get things squared and all these auto sales that are coming through. What great way to have some things lined up for your future.
100%. And again, Charles, really want to thank you for being available and being here to help our agents. And Robert, again, thanks so much for getting this on the docket and helping agents. So appreciate you guys.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for the time, everyone. And yeah, excited to get everyone going. Let me know if you guys need anything. Stay tuned.